The following is an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.
You talked before about maybe after the snow break and all the breaks, kind of getting the guys back together. It's been a while since you guys have played. Just talk about how you feel about their start. You know, were you happy with their start, at least coming out 17-4? You have to be happy with that at least.
Yeah, you can see them they're growing. They're trying to click on a couple of cylinders, not all of them, but you can see the chemistry. You can see the synergy amongst each other. You know, and basketball is one of those games where when it's not together, you can see it, but when it's coming together, you can see that as well. And they're starting to get it a little bit, and they're starting to really buy in on the defensive end of the floor, which is predicated off everything and what we do. You know, that's where we hang our hat, and they're buying in. And like I said, we just got to finish some more possessions by rebounding it so we can get out in transition and create easy opportunities for ourselves.
Del'vin scored 10 straight in the first half.
Mm-hmm.
How big was that, just having that explosion in his overall game he had?
It was huge for him. You know, he's been up and down this year, and a lot of it is he can't get out of his own way. And I tell him, you know, start off driving. Let your drive set up your jump shot. Don't let your jump shot set up your drive. And I think he drove it, and it was huge. Probably the most important play he made was just driving and getting third foul on Boyd. And he went to the free throw line, knocked those down, and now the basket gets a little bigger. And he did a good job of playing with the pace and shooting without hesitancy. And, you know, I think his first bucket of the game was a layup. You know, we tell him all the time, my man, just sprint down the floor, beat people down the floor, just get a layup. And he got that. He got a dunk in the second half, too. And that's what we got to get him to do, is just his first 3 steps is the most critical, because he's really not a power forward. He's more like a 3.5, and he got to utilize his speed and quickness and get behind the defense.
I know a lot of coaches, when they coaches say they don't watch the scoreboard. Are you the same way?
Yeah, I mean, I don't pay attention to it. I look up at it doing media and stuff like that, but other than that, you're just coaching your team, and time just flies.
But was there,
when you're losing, it flies, but when you're up, it takes the longest.
Was there ever a point you looked up at it one of those times, I was like, wow, it was kind of surprised, maybe taking it back a little bit by the score?
No, because I told them, you know, we have to set the standard for us. You know, we know what we're supposed to do, and when we're doing that, we're pretty good, and when we're not doing that, we're not that good. And so I concentrate on our principles and us playing clean, and us playing the right way and sharing the basketball and playing hard and maintaining our focus at all times. And it's not easy to maintain your focus at home on Greek night with the cheerleaders cheering for you and you're up 30. You know, you can lose touch every now and then, but that's on me to call timeout and refocus you.
You talk about they got a guy in Williams who's coming off a 30-point game, but he's a young guy, and I thought it was pretty big. DeJuan Graff kind of took the wind out of his sails early, it seemed like, on offense and defense. Just talk about, you know, the game that he played on both ends as well.
Graff is incredible. I don't know the culture of the league in terms of what everyone else is doing. I don't keep up with everyone else, but you'll be hard pressed to find anyone that's better than that kid in the MEAC on both ends of the floor, or more valuable to that team. And he sets the tone. And Pat started off on Williams, and the Williams is outstanding. I hate to deal with that guy for 3 more years, but he's outstanding. He's quick. He can shoot it. And you know, anytime we're guarding an individual, it's pretty much we're getting the job done collectively, because we got some built-in help to kind of help guys out. So they all did an outstanding job on it.
That's the case with Miller. He came in and lead the scorer, and he was scoreless tonight.
Yeah, we did a couple of scouting reports, and we just try to get our guys to follow the game plan, because everyone had a weakness. I tell them Superman had a weakness. He ain't like kryptonite too much. So, you know, if you force someone to do their weakness, not saying they're not good, they're just not as strong as they are doing their strength, and that's what we try to implement into our guys' minds.
Was this the best performance of the conference slate so far from you guys?
So far, yeah, definitely, so far.
And was it one of those situations again where you could tell leading up in the practices that they will have a pretty solid performance?
Had pretty solid practices. Had a week off, which I guess we probably needed that. But then it kind of got boring because what happens is during the course of the season, these guys get tired of practicing and get tired of practicing against each other. So we had a scrimmage on Saturday because I wanted to keep the same flow and rhythm of a conference game, and we scrimmaged for like 45 minutes, and then I just stopped it because they were like, Coach, we just ready to play, someone else with a different color jersey. And me too. So we got to come back in here tomorrow and, prepare for Saturday, and we all know what that is.
Right. You talk about that game. How do you pivot from a big win like this to a game where, it's a rivalry game, but, they aren't necessarily performing at their peak? How do you keep your guys focused with everything that's going to be going on, not only, just within the atmosphere, but also just knowing that they're not really that great of a team now?
But yeah, they've lost a lot of one possession, two possession basketball games. So, and regardless of what their record is, it doesn't matter. Regardless of what our record is, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like that Carolina Duke thing. And I hate to sound so cliche where you can throw records out the window, but I mean, you guys know how it goes. It's the truth. These guys, they're fighting, and if they'll win any games this year, they want to beat North Carolina Central just like everyone else. So, I'd be lying if I said it's just another game, because the truth of the matter is we don't like them and they don't like us. We'll never like them and they'll never like us. And you can bring in pastors, you can bring in Dr. Phil. There's no sitting down resolving this one. This is probably 200 years old, and you'll be 1,000 years old long when I'm gone, so the hate is always going to be there. And I've been there as a player, but you just got to keep your focus, because at the end of the day, the goals are still 10 feet. The floor is 94 by 50, and they're going to throw it up, and whoever put the ball in the hole the most wins. And that's what you got to convince our guys on. Leave the atmosphere alone. Don't worry. Don't even look in the stands, because there's going to be some stuff going on in here you've never seen in your life. So just play. Just play.
It sounds like a simple question, but what got into you guys tonight? It's a great start you got off to and everything.
Really just being in the gap, like talking on defense, just letting our defense turn into our offense. Like Coach said, he always tell me like from the beginning of the year, like, don't settle for your jump shot, always drive to the rim. Like, just set your jump shot up. So I guess when I started driving to the rim, it kind of like leaving me open. They was kind of leaving me open, playing me off a little bit. So that's when I just started shooting the ball.
Was getting out on the break and making sure they don't set up their zone, was that a big emphasis for you guys offensively?
Yeah, he always told us beat the other team down the court. At least like if we get the rebound, just get it and go. Try to beat the zone and try to get easy buckets, like layups, and just try to get to the foul line or something.
You finished the half pretty strong, had 10 straight, did finish the first half. At what point could you tell you were in a groove and had a pretty good night going for you?
I don't know, I was just doing whatever Coach told me to do, really. And my teammates were just finding me, and I was just driving the ball pretty strong. Kind of upset that I only had 2 rebounds, but I could have did better on the defensive end, rebounding.
At any point, you guys, as Coach, as he watched the scoreboard, you guys kind of looked up like, wow, I can't believe we're up 24 or 30-some points in the first half of this thing.
Nah, we don't let that really get to us. We kind of just want to keep our foots on their throats and set a tone for the rest of the league. Like, look, we ain't coming and playing. Like, we ain't playing with y'all.
Was this a statement game because Howard was picked to finish first?
Yeah, this is definitely a statement game, because last year I wasn't playing, but I watched the game and I was kind of upset because they came in and ended our home game streak. So Coach kind of took it personal, like, look, these dudes celebrated on y'all court and ended your home game streak. So it was kind of personal to me because I didn't play last year, so I kind of wanted to go at these dudes.
This has been an exclusive presentation of the NCCU Sports Network.